Today we are going to talk about a news analysis entitled Apple, Facebook gives more blockbuster advantage to technology. This is a talk in Paris, so here I am sitting in Nafila and my studio number is 120 and I will be the first to explain the news analysis. Okay, we start. In the first paragraph it is written Apple and Facebook delivered blockbuster profits on Wednesday in the latest sign of big tech strength as the sector faces scrutiny for its growing dominance during the pandemic. So, this news has two theses, namely, number one, Apple and Facebook delivered blockbuster profits, and number two, the sector faces scrutiny for its growing dominance during the pandemic. Okay, and what are the supporting points that create the argument? How do they relate to each other? How do they relate to the thesis? The supporting points of the thesis are written coherently, starting from the brief explanation to the detailed explanation when discussed next. In our view, the discussion between thesis and the explanation is appropriate and neat. There is no shortage or make this news weak arguments, because in the translation there is valid evidence to encourage the strength of the news. And then, what are the examples used as evidence for the supporting points? How do they relate to the points they support to each other, to the thesis? The way the author relates the thesis to clear and proven explanation, such as the following statements. The two Silicon Valley giants reported profits that essentially doubled, with Apple earning more than $23.6 billion and Facebook some $9.5 billion in the first 3 months of the year. This statement has strength assisted by a report and explanation for the first thesis. Next, Apple was lifted by strong gains in sales of iPhones and assorted products and services, while Facebook saw robust increases in digital advertising, reflecting people's rising internet usage during the ongoing pandemic. Thesis is developing again and linked with the second thesis about the cause of the first thesis. Then, so in the initial discussion, this writer briefly introduced the first and second thesis. Then, the supporting news is spelled out straight away with a report from Silicon Valley. Then, this is connected again to related description of the reason the first thesis can occur. For the second thesis, the initial discussion only touches a little. However, subsequent discussions have cited valid proponents that the reason for the existence of Apple and Facebook gave a blockbuster advantage on Wednesday and the latest sign of big tech strength. The evidence includes the latest results are likely to prompt more attention for the giant tech firms which have been able to deliver needed goods and services to lockdown consumers. Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple are among tech titans that have thrived as the pandemic accelerated a shift to working, learning, shopping, and socializing online. The large tech companies are in the right place at the right time, said Darrell West, available at the Brookings Institution's Center for Technology Innovation. COVID has accelerated digital transformation in education, healthcare, remote work, and e-commerce, and that has boosted the profitability of those firms. But there remains a backlash against the sector because people are worried about privacy, security, and human safety. Okay, the author writes this news clearly, coherently, and accordance with the facts, because his way of writing is mutually continuous between the first and second thesis. The way he puts evidence for discussion points is also very precise, so as not to cause irregularities. Then, in the discussion, the conclusion at the end of the discussion are also well organized and accordance with the initial discussion. That's the only explanation from me. I apologize if there is an error in the delivery, and next will present my friend, namely Miss Dian Rizky Lestari. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dian Rizky Lestari. I will continue Vila's explanation about analysis non-fiction text entitled Apple, Facebook deliver more blockbuster profits for tech. Firstly, is about the main idea of the text. The main idea of the text is the blockbuster profit delivered by Apple and Facebook. Its growing dominance during the pandemic. Apple and Facebook delivered blockbuster profit on Wednesday in the latest sign of big tech strength. Despite criticism such as a statement from Facebook that its user ratings are improving despite constant criticism of its efforts to protect user privacy and stem misinformation. However, the latest results are likely to promote more attention for the giant tech firms which have been able to deliver needed goods and services to lockdown consumers. The writers engage the reader by use large and well-known companies in making articles. As written in the text, the results followed that one analyst called a monster quarter for Google and its parent firm Alphabet, which with Facebook dominance online advertising, and a robust report from Microsoft, which is growing the cloud computing operation. This statement can add to readers be more enthusiastic and persuade readers to be interested and curious about the content of the article. How the development are taking place in large company, and so they will read this news more deeply. Next, the text is included in the information text because in this text is explained about how much increase in profit is obtained from this large technology company and what the things makes these companies got high benefits and what the obstacle in the process of it. The modes of analysis are used, cause and effect. Apple was lifted by strong gains in sales of iPhones and wide variety of products and services, while Facebook experienced a strong increase in digital advertising, reflecting the increase in people's internet usage during the pandemic. And last, in our opinion, the text has almost no weakness. The delivery of the information is quite dense, conscious, and clear. However, there is no doubt that the news is real. From thesis, description, evidence, and news coverage, the author writes conscientiously on each discussion between the points in the news. In addition, the evidence is stronger because the news is published from sources that are also guaranteed authenticity. Okay, that's all analysis from us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.